3 minutes left. 1 minute left. Alright, so the time is over.
Did I start?
Yep.
All right. Three, two. Hey everyone, I'm Zoe Faisal. Along with my teammates Michelle and Alfie, we're here to talk about why a broad curriculum is the best way to learn in today's world. I'm going to kick things off by highlighting how a broad education makes us more adaptable and creative. First off, let's talk about adaptability. In our fast paced, ever changing world, things are constantly evolving. Did you know that according to the World Economic Forum, by 2025, half of all employees will need reskilling? That's because new technologies and industries are emerging at an unprecedented rate. When you have broad range of knowledge, you're better equipped to handle these changes. You can switch gears and apply what you know from different areas to new situations. It's like having a versatile toolbox where you can pull out the right tool for the job no matter what comes your way. This flexibility is incredible in value in both our personal and professional lives. Secondly, a broad curriculum fosters creative thinking. When you're exposed to a variety of subjects, you start to see connections and patterns that others might miss. This interdisciplinary approach can lead to innovative solutions and ideas. For example, did you know that some of the greatest inventions, like the smartphone, were created by combining knowledge from multiple fields, such as computer science, engineering, and design? By learning a bit about a lot of things, we open ourselves up to a new ways of thinking and problem solving that can lead to amazing outcomes. I'll pass on to Michelle to continue.
Okay. So, I stand in favor of a curriculum that emphasizes breadth over depth, as it prepares students for a rapidly changing world. Consider Steve Jobs, who revolutionized technology by merging his knowledge of design and engineering, illustrating how interdisciplinary learning can spark groundbreaking innovation. A broad curriculum not only cultivates creative problem solving by connecting diverse fields, such as a student combining biology and art to become a pioneering medical illustrator, but also enhances cultural literacy. In an interconnected world, understanding global issues and appreciating diverse perspectives is crucial. For example, students exposed to various disciplines can better navigate international business and diplomacy, where cultural awareness is key. Moreover, with career paths constantly evolving, versatility is invaluable. It opens up numerous opportunities and equips individuals to adapt with confidence. By embracing a curriculum rich in breadth, we not only prepare students to face the future, but also empower them to shape it, driving progress and innovation across various sectors. I'm now going to pass it on to Alfie.
Okay, so now it's time for our IGCSE to speak. The person who will be going next, please request to speak. Oh, they already have.
Good evening, everybody. I, Josh, will be the first speaker. Uh, sorry, Human will be the second speaker, and uh, Asterisk will be the third speaker. Okay, so my team is making the case that depth is more important than breadth in the curriculum. While breadth may be important for exploration at the lower levels of education, depth quickly takes significant precedence and importance in education. For instance, with the enhanced expertise that depth provides, it encourages critical thinking, and it also supports career readiness. As you know, the market demand and all these fields are becoming more specialized and more specific, especially in the area of academia, where we see PhD studies get more specific and more specific. As you go up the ladder of education, you realize that you have to sort of narrow down your options, and you have to really zone in on a specific issue in order to solve it. Because when we think of society as a whole, the reason that we have multiple people in multiple different fields is so that we can help each other. Okay, multiple different experts helping one another is better than one person filled with random facts about different fields without having an actual deep understanding of each of them. While a basic understanding of these uh, separate fields such as design, engineering, and stuff like that is necessary in certain cases, sometimes, expert advice, you have advisors to help you in the workplace. And also, we come to engagement and motivation as well. When someone is truly passionate about a certain subject, they will, be go further with it, and they'll have more research opportunities down the road, and it will help in innovation and help them contribute more to society. So in long term, it will help in long term learning at the end of the day. So I'll pass this on to Human. Human. I'm passing it on to my second speaker now.
Hello, testing. All right, so I'd like to go over some of the points as to why depth or specialization is so relevant in today's world. So, as we all know, it does save time and it does lead to people being less distracted. But a more overlooked aspect of this is that it's a self perpetuating cycle. So, studies have shown that specialization can breed passion and vice versa. So, a deep knowledge or interest in a certain field can breed further interest in that field, which leads to a sort of cycle, which makes this a sustainable practice. Furthermore, this would harm people's salaries down the line and their expenditure. So, for example, in the American education system, one extra year is wasted on college due to this lack of specialization. So, according to the U.S. National Debt Law, there is $1.7 trillion of student debt. So, this is incredibly harming to underprivileged communities and has the undertones of marginalization. In contrast, people who have taken debt they allow students to focus on what they want and increases the satisfaction, which makes them less likely to drop out. And furthermore, it also lets people focus. So, for example, I hate second languages, I don't have to take it. All right, then. People without specific academic preferences could explore other subjects while investing time into other skills, so they're not mutually exclusive. There is always an option to take extra subjects at a lower level for people who are less certain in life, and people who have a clear plan could go forward with it proficiently. And then students also get quite a lot of exposure throughout preparatory to middle school. So let's not disregard that. So, do we really need a broad high school curriculum? For example, there is a decline in the Scottish education performance relative to the British education performance, which is a classic example of breadth versus depth, where Scotland represents breadth, according to the Guardian article in December 23. And it has led to an increase in social inequality, which I referred to earlier. And students can also take up their own initiatives on their own time if they want to explore subjects. So it depends on person to person, and it's not mutually exclusive, as I already stated. And in today's world, low-level concepts are saturated. So we need multidisciplinary experts collaborating to help innovate and create progress for all of us. Thanks, and I would like to yield my time to Asterix.
Moderator, we're ready for our third speaker.
Among
Okay, so you won't be yielding time because your time is over. Like our IGCSE time is over, so participants from Mojza will go now.
If it's possible, could you do a screen share of the timers since it is supposed to be 5:55 and you're supposed to cut us off if we are over time? So could you just do you have an actual timer going on, or are you just getting a feel for it?
I do have a timer. Let me screenshot it.
Because I sent a message saying I couldn't speak at 6:21 and I stopped speaking at about 6:24, which I'm correct. If I'm correct, that's 3 minutes. Whereas the rules as posted by the IGCC moderator stated 5 minutes per speaker. So could you please clear up that discrepancy?
I think you guys are confused. So the thing here is that not each speaker gets 5 minutes. It's like each turn. So basically, since you guys decided to yield, beginning with Mojza, of course, now there's yielding included. So it's just like one turn is equal to 5 minutes. That depends on which turns you guys or the participants reference decide to yield to their other teammates.
Uh, would wait. So if the time is grouped as 5 minutes for three speakers, then wouldn't that negate the concept of yielding as a whole because it's already divided between the teammates?
Well, basically, you get 3 turns. So
So if we
I
get three
think that
turns,
can be covered.
wait. If we get three turns, that implies 15 minutes. I only took 3 minutes, and Josh only took approximately 3 to 4 minutes as well. So unless my math is wrong, that's 7 minutes, which is less than 15. So I'm not sure why we shouldn't get a third speaker.
But the time was over 5 minutes. So do you want me to increase the time limit? Say how much should I do it? Uh,
No, I
seven
would just
to
like
eight.
you to clarify the division of time because I don't see
It's
any.
5, 5, 5. Okay.
If it okay, it's 5 minutes
And
per
each turn
speaker.
takes 5.
All right.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
You're audible.
Okay. Universities highly value students with a broad range of knowledge and skill. Uh, the term jack of all trades. These individuals are not diluted into their abilities. They are the architects of innovation and progress. Picture a student as a Swiss Army knife, adaptable, resourceful, and capable of tackling challenges from multiple angles, unlike a butter knife. Research shows that students exposed to diverse subjects exhibit enhanced critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity, attributes of universities convert. Consi- uh, cons- like we can consider Steve Jobs, who revolutionized the technology by merging art, design, and engineering into a single device, which is now worth a billions of dollars. Furthermore, studies show that the student which have a more broad academic curriculum are more likely to get better jobs and less chances of getting laid off in recessions. In conclusion, the evidence is clear. Universities yearn for well-rounded students who are the future leaders and the problem solvers of the world. A well-rounded education is the cornerstone of the 21st century success. And I passed my time to Zoya.
Am I audible?
You're audible.
Um, Continuing on from what Alfie said, a study from UNICEF revealed that students with a broad academic background are 62% more likely to get better jobs and less chance of getting laid off. Um, Adding to that, other statistics approve other statistics prove from universities such as University of California, University of Pearson, University of Duke prove that all-rounded students are more likely to get a chance for admissions. And it also helps us prepare for anything life throws at us. It makes us adaptable, creative, informed, good communicators, and well-rounded individuals. By embracing the breadth of learning, we equip ourselves with the tools to thrive in an ever-changing world. And being well rounded helps us contribute more meaningfully to society. When we understand a variety of subjects, we're better equipped to engage in civic duties. We make better informed decisions and participate in our communities. We become more responsible and thoughtful citizens that are ready to tackle all the challenges that come to us in this world. For example, if you're a graphic designer or if you're a social media manager, somewhere you would get a job more likely if you know how to do graphic designing too, or if you know how to do content writing too. Since you have multiple skills now, they're more likely to hire you. Education isn't just about preparing for a job, it's about becoming a well-rounded person. A broad curriculum encourages us to explore different subjects, which can lead to discovering new interests and passions. This exploration makes life more fulfilling and enriched. You might find a new hobby, a potential career path, or simply a topic that you love learning about. This kind of personal development is essential for leading a balanced and satisfying life. How much time do we have left?
1 minute.
Okay. Can we still yield, or do I have to?
Can you manage in 48 seconds?
Okay. Um, Um, Broad education helps us make better decisions and communicate more effectively as well. So, having a wide range of knowledge makes you a more informed decision maker, whether it's in your personal life or your career. Understanding different subjects gives you the context you need to weigh your options carefully. You're not just looking at things from one narrow perspective, you're able to see the bigger picture. This holistic view can help you make more thoughtful and informed choices, leading to better outcomes. Communication is another key benefit of a broad curriculum. When you know a bit about many topics, it's easier to relate to different people to make more connections and engage in meaningful conversations, whether you're at
Shooting is
work,
over.
networking. Okay.
Next goes IGCSE.
I believe we need a new guest fix speaker.
Hello, am I audible? Okay, I'll take that as
You're
yes.
audible.
Okay. So being a jack of trades means scratching the surface of many multiple different fields and never really going in depth into any of those fields. And deep knowledge is required to solve problems or contribute anything meaningful to a field. The superficial understanding across many areas may hinder innovation and progress, where only reinventing the wheel will occur. In the real world, specialization is valued over generalism. In a professional setting, Employers may seek individuals with in-depth skills for specific roles. Even in the academic world, a broad base of knowledge without depth can limit one's abilities to connect ideas and see the bigger picture within a subject. Spreading oneself too thin across various fields can lead to inefficiency and a lack of results in any one area. Other than impressing your average Joe, a basic understanding of various fields will not contribute will not contribute significantly to your professional success or problem-solving abilities. The four team mentioned how rapid development technology needs to be adapted to, which I agree, but not in the way they talked about. AI is a great example of rapidly developing technology. At first, it may seem one needs to adapt by increasing the breadth of their knowledge, but that's not the case. AI is nothing but an extension of its specialization. AI started off with this concept, then to early AI, then to knowledge-based systems and expert systems, then to machine learning and neural networks. This is all specialized. It's not a breadth of knowledge, it's depth. This isn't an increased breadth, but an increased depth. And this applies to all of rapidly developed technology. At first, they mentioned having a breadth of knowledge with having like a toolbox where you can pick any tool. Great, you can pick the tool, but would you be able to use it proficiently if you're encountered with the complex problems? That is my question. And I yield the rest of my time, if I have any, to Human.
All right. So one point I would like to reiterate is that the two are not mutually exclusive. People can also hone external skills while having a curriculum focused on an in-depth subject. This allows people to do what they want, enables flexibility, and it also reduces the marginalization of underprivileged communities. I noticed you provided some studies specific to USA about how more balanced and well-rounded students are more likely to become admitted, which further drives home the point that a more holistic curriculum is simply bad for social equality because this further marginalizes those communities and forces them to spend more of the money which they don't have. And this just leads to a self perpetuating cycle of capitalism and the elite becoming richer. Furthermore, the current state of the world demands interdisciplinary skills, which means that expertise of multiple people combined in order to create innovation, not one person being a jack of all trades, not being able to do anything. All right. And the fields mentioned, such as computer science and IT, given as examples by Steve Jobs, they aren't really that different or they have interchangeable use. One might be able to say they're an economist and a mathematician at the same time. That doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that they're a jack of all trades. That simply means that they're proficient in tangentially related fields. All right, cheers.
You guys still have 1 minute left.
All right. I'll take this one then. So, our argument, as summary, breadth may be important for exploration at the lower levels of education, but depth quickly takes significant precedence and importance in education at the higher levels and basically most of education. Multiple skills, having multiple skills does not equal different subjects in the curriculum. It's still possible to have many different skills, but still be within the same subject. Also, when it comes to in the curriculum, you know, students should not be taught to learn skills according to what the curriculum wants. They should be readily able to learn by their own, to adapt on their own, to learn to adapt. When you teach a baby to walk, you don't guide it step by step every way, move its legs or whatever. You allow it to
Your
fail.
time's over. Mojza participants will go next.
Okay, so I have a couple of points. So it was mentioned that innovation is only available when there's specialization. What about Steve Jobs? What about Elon Musk, who combined engineering, physics, and business? Walt Disney, who combined animation, storytelling, and business? Jeff Bezos, technology, retail, and logistics. What about these people? Specialization is not. Innovation is not limited to specialization, but rather how you combine all of these broad subjects to create a new beginning. It was also mentioned that they can have other skills while being specialized. However, it seems that these speakers have not taken a business class, as specialization has its downfalls. Like, it gets too boring for the people that are doing the job. And specialized people also have higher salaries, which makes it harder for them to get jobs in itself because they need higher salaries. So it's unlikely that they will be able to enter the job market. As well as that, if they are absent, if they're absent, then it will be unlikely that someone else would be able to take their place due to them being specialized while others aren't. So, a broader curriculum would actually benefit all of this, rather than making them like more specialized and putting them at a disadvantage, not only in the job market but as well as limiting them and their opportunities. I would like to. Who wants to speak? Zoya or Alfie?
Okay, I'll go. Research shows that people with diverse knowledge tackle problems better. A 2019 study in cognitive science found that when you know a lot about different subjects, you're better at coming up with creative solutions. Why? Because you can connect ideas from different fields and come up with new approaches. And like I said earlier, it is like having a bigger toolbox. Sure, you may not know how to use some of the tools, but you know how to hold them. You can figure it out. You know the basics of it. When you know the basics of something, it's much easier to actually do it, to figure it out, rather than having no clue about what it is. Then there's adaptability. We live in a world that's changing faster than ever. A 2018 World Economic Forum report highlights that employers are looking for people who can adapt to different roles and industries, not just those with deep expertise in one narrow field. The job market is unpredictable, and having a broad skill set helps you stay relevant and versatile. Innovation is another area where breadth shines. So in 2021, study in Nature Communications showed that teams with a mix of diverse knowledge backgrounds are more successful at coming up with innovative ideas. When you bring different perspectives to the table, you're more likely to create something that's much different and much more unique than other companies and other ideas. Um, Moreover, broad learning helps with cognitive flexibility as well. Research from psychological science in 2020 showed that people who learn about a range of subjects are better at switching between different tasks and ideas. Finally, a broad educational background can open more career doors. According to a 2019 Georgetown University report, people with a wide range of skills are better at moving between different careers. They're more likely to find new opportunities and succeed in various roles because they're not logged onto one specific path. So if you're going to go for management, you're just going for management. No, people that have multiple different skills can go from management to accounting to other stuff, to leadership, other things. According to 2019, the Georgetown University report, people are better at moving different careers. If you do social media management, like I mentioned earlier, you could also do graphic designing. Since you have different skills, you focused not on just creating schedules and all that. You focused on other people's tasks. You learned the other skills while leading them. So while specializing in one area can be important, having a broad base of knowledge can make you more adaptable, innovative, and versatile. It's about being prepared for whatever comes your way and making the most of all the opportunities that come in your way, rather than just focusing on one big thing and only going to that straight path. It's much better if you do focus on the one thing, but create many different sections and learn
Your
different
time's
skills.
over.
Okay, thank you.
IGCSE next.
All right, so I would like to cover some of the point examples provided by the opposition. So I would like to say that engineering is a field directly related to physics and completely reliant on physics as its fundamental. So Elon Musk did in fact have to use engineering and physics because they are interchangeable disciplines that are directly related to each other. Furthermore, retail and logistics are also an example of this, since logistics is typically covered in most retail courses, which I might add is a topic at a college level, not a high school curriculum, which would demand specialization on the contrary. And also, Elon Musk just uh, most of his success came from a luck out of PayPal. It's hard to say that he was successful because of pure skill, because that's simply not the case. Furthermore, I noticed the opposition ignored most of our questions about a lack of proficiency and marginalization of underprivileged communities. They also mentioned that specialized people don't I find it harder to move careers. However, this is selection bias, since most specialized people know what they love and do what they love. So yeah, and graphic design is another example, which is a primary part of social media management, and this shows how expertise plays into these job opportunities and how they might be applicable to different fields, but they still are the fundamental same discipline. Then almost on all of these examples, specialized workers are required to develop these products and sustain their prosperity. So, for instance, Amazon uses A/B testing by statisticians or separate logisticians. It's not all managed by one guy. I would like to yield my time to Asterix.
Uh, opposite team mentioned you are holding the tool, and then since you're holding tool, you can learn more into it. That is called specialization. Learning more in depth into the tool, that is specialization. So thanks for proving our point, I guess. So then you need to specialize in that tool to solve complex problems you come across often. As for the unpredictable job market, let us take the classic oversaturated computer science field. Knowing backend when applying data science does not really matter to the company. They would prefer an in-depth knowledge in data science than a spread out knowledge in different parts. Let us take Elon Musk, who focused on engineering and technology, an interlinked field where he specialized in those two. Bill Gates has also emphasized the importance of deep technical expertise in driving innovation. Even Steve Jobs' philosophy was to focus on design, user experience, and product innovation. All those people that you have mentioned, their philosophy, their work, they were all specialized, not breadth. They were more into depth. That's all I have to say.
Chaman, how much time do we have left?
You still have 1 minute left.
Uh, All right, so I would like to reiterate that most of the statistics used by the opposition suffer from a lot of selection bias, and they have ignored most of the points about the marginalization of communities and how most of these fields demand specialization. It is not a breadth of subjects, it is a specialization in tangentially related fields, which are related to the undergraduate level, might I add, not a high school curriculum where these people are specialized in engineering or physics like Elon Musk, which enable them to be successful in the development of products like the Tesla. And also, there is one mention of how specialized people find it harder to find jobs because they have higher salaries. They don't need higher salaries, they get higher salaries because they are specialized. So, this is just kind of proving our point. Uh, all right, thanks.
33 seconds left.
we would like to move on to the next round.
All right, then it's Q&A time. Mojza debaters can go first.
Okay. Is there a time limit for this, or can we just ask?
There's no time limit for this, so you can go however you like.
All right.
All right, so I have some questions for the opposition. All right. So a key factor you guys kept mentioning was that. So I would like to know what your response is in order to the comment on the marginalization of underprivileged communities, because I we've covered this a lot,
Uh,
but the as the university statistics you cited stated, a more generally a more balanced student is more likely to get into these elite universities, which results in higher salaries for them. So, what is your response to this need to spend more to earn more, and how this impacts, how this leads to a self-perpetuating cycle of the rich getting richer?
If I recall correctly, our team. So I think we should ask the questions and then later answer your question.
Uh, we are allowed to interrupt, and you guys have taken about 5 minutes to answer the questions. I'm sorry if you had any doubts, but since we have already started, could you just answer them? I'm all open to answering any questions later on.
All right. In that case, could you please brief your question a little bit?
All right, so I would like your comment on how the holistic state of your argument. So you cited some statistics about how more balanced students are likely to get into elite universities, correct? In the United States.
That's
So
incorrect since we stated that they're more likely to get jobs not into universities, but rather few universities actually prefer broader students. So
yeah,
your point
okay.
itself is
One
invalid.
second. That was my point, right? Few universities tend to prefer more broader students, right? And these were American universities. These statistics from which you cited, if I'm correct. So what this means is that students need to spend money in order to do extracurriculars, in order to attain that level of balancedness which these universities desire. Correct? Which means that people who simply cannot afford these and might wish to specialize in one field would simply not have the opportunity to attend these prestigious universities, which leads to just the rich getting richer because they are more educated. And this leads to an increasing social divide, which is seen in Scotland, for example.
Okay, so Scotland universities, we're not talking about that since majority of universities that allow their data to be shared are mainly from the US, which we are talking, which is our main focus since that's where we get our research from. But like universities like Scotland, they're more privatized and they don't share their information. As well as the
All
speaker
right,
does
that's fine.
not
Could you
know
talk
about
about
free
US
extracurriculars.
universities then?
You do not know about free extracurriculars. There's so many free organizations that you can start up, that you can join for free. There's also um, uh,
Could you,
financial benefits that are
if I
given.
might cut you off, could you provide some examples of these free endeavors? Because it does seem like most of the more prestigious opportunities would be restricted to people who are able to pay for them, and the more common ones would be available for free, which simply do not provide the same competitive edge that more costly ones do.
Okay,
There are
so
still
for
millions.
example, Yeah, okay, wait, I'll go on first. So, an example would be Hack the North, which provides financial aid to people, full financial aid, which allows them to participate in a hackathon and allow them to broaden their technical skills as well as focus on other stuff such as creativity, which is appreciated at hackathons, as well as some other hackathons.
All right, so if I might interrupt you,
we
this
have
hackathon would be relevant to CS majors primarily, which would be
not
seen as an
CS majors
enhanced.
primarily. The
All right,
speaker does
then.
not realize that hackathons are not limited to computer science
All right.
majors, but they're always meant for everyone that have a broad
All right.
skill set because they need to be creative.
All right. So these hackathons are primarily accessible to people who are already aware about programming languages such as Python or Java, correct?
No, people that don't have coding experience can also join these hackathons.
Could you elaborate on how someone with
Might be
zero
interested in the
coding
fact that
logic
there are people
experience would
that
be able to
For
operate in this context?
brainstorming,
Human, can I
listen,
say
for
something about this?
Yeah, let us.
Okay, the hackathons you're talking about, the no coding hackathons you're talking about, is usually solutions to technical problems. It could be an app, website, whatever it is, but it's still CS related. Hack and hackathon. The other competitions you're thinking of are whole separate different competitions, like product design competitions or whatever. But hackathons are restricted to technical questions. Sure, no
Okay,
coding,
but
but it's still web
debate
specific
competitions
application.
and
there's
debate
more than
competitions
just
also exist.
there's a lot of MUNs. There's this university that offers millions of summer
All right, guys, you're
school.
deflecting the question. I would like you to answer about hackathons and how they are accessible to a general audience, because it seems like people with
What brought
technical
MUNs?
expertise, which can be
They're
acquired
free.
through
They're
paid
free,
courses.
which was what your issue was.
Yeah,
If
I'm
not
building
everyone
upon
can
the
do
issue.
them, there's many other opportunities that everyone else can. Okay, if only CS students can do the hackathons, some basic learning students, if you learn coding as a side, for example, I myself am learning coding as a side, but my main primary goal is sciences. I'm doing sciences, but I can still join a hackathon because I know the basics. If not hackathon, there's also other fields. There's many MUNs, universities offer them for anyone can do those if you focus on the skill, if you focus on public speaking. If not that
All right.
either, if you that's also
Uh, so,
one
if I might
field.
interrupt you, some of the more prestigious MUNs like Harvard Mun cost about 40,000 INR, which translates to roughly $5,000 or so, just to participate in them. And these are the relevant ones which the universities look for. So, this is just kind of building upon that fact.
All right,
Wait,
this
which
brings to
MUN? Which MUN?
Harvard Mun.
Harvard Mun. That
Yep.
is
okay.
yeah, okay.
Regarding
I
Zoya's
see.
learning coding, I'm not saying that no, like only experts can participate in it. Sure, you can participate in it, but winning it is a whole different story. You'd need to be specialized in that. So that comes to our main points. Sure, you'll have basic knowledge in different fields, but solving complex problems or actually contributing to society, you would not be able to do with limited knowledge. So to win a hackathon, you need to be specialized in applications, websites, or whatever, like the entire concept of it. So, like, I'm not sure what the point is. What brought Emios into this exactly?
It doesn't generally have to be hackathons. Sure, we might not win them. Still focusing on one career path, said the science. But I'm doing hackathons, right? If I do hackathons, I keep learning them. I will eventually get them as a better skill. I will eventually start mastering them too, but I'll still have my main point still mastered. I can master multiple different areas. What's the issue in that? I can master social media management. I can master health. I can master programming. We can do it all alongside, can't we?
Well, not exactly, because time is a factor you have to include, and I'm assuming you have a life. That would be it. It would be sad if you didn't. But anyways, assuming you have a life, you wouldn't be able to master all of these skills at the same time because you would simply just be incompetent at all of them and inadequate to have any significant achievement in any of them.
And one other thing, unless you're Albert Einstein, I completely doubt you'll be able to master all those skills, as people spend years of their life just to master one skill. So I wonder where you're going to get all that time to master social media development, medicine, whatever, everything you mentioned.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to interrupt you on that one and let. So it is
Okay,
humanly
what's up?
possible possible. You can do it. You can take a gap year. It's not that hard. You can take a gap year and do multiple
1 year
different.
is not enough to master something.
All right, wait. If I
That's
might
what it is,
interrupt
and
this,
that's what
wait.
everyone
This
else
brings
needs
us back to
to
the
do.
core point. This brings us back to the core question of the marginalization, right? Poor people cannot afford to take a gap year. They need to start earning. So if you take a gap year just to make yourself more appealing to universities, that's counterintuitive towards your entire productive life.
Okay, you don't have to
Also,
take a gap year either. You can still do it. Universities offer programs and courses to master stuff. There's clubs. You can focus on your main thing and then join clubs. It's really not that much hard.
But there's no point of the club if you're not proficient in it. You won't be able to
And you're
do
not gonna
anything with
master
the
why? Why
club.
not? People,
Main
us
point of
humans,
club
we're made to learn.
We are made to
Something real
learn,
quick.
but we're limited by this thing called time. Not
How
what
are
you
we
heard of it.
limited?
What? You're limited
How
by
are we
time. What do
limited?
you mean?
Our memory, throughout our entire life, only half of our memory is filled for an average human being. So we're not limited, but rather we are limiting ourselves. As well as the other speaker mentioned that, oh, you don't have a life, something. That was completely unrelated and uncalled for. Because listen, having a life, socialization is also a skill, as well as public speaking. So that would, there's many things that would
Well, I mean,
that.
mastering all of these fields simultaneously would require immense devotion to these, which would lead to the sacrifice of social
But if you're
interaction,
consistent with it,
which would.
then eventually you will reach to a level where you are proficient in it.
Okay, if you're consistent with it in multiple subjects, and let's say if you have like 500 years to your life, right? We're limited by time. You realize that. So
How will
consistency
we be
builds up
limited by
skills.
time if you have 500 years
You're
in
gonna
real
die
life?
at like 100. What?
Why have you given 500 years?
Okay,
I'm saying to
assuming one
master
has 80
so
years to
many
live, all
skills.
right? Okay, so the argument that the time is not a restraining factor is like saying the sky does not exist. Like, we are limited by time.
We
We have
never
things to
mentioned that
do.
time is not a restraining factor.
You
We
just said
mentioned the
that
fact
2 minutes ago.
when.
But how is that limited? That's my point. You do not have enough time to
Exactly.
master all those skills when people spend 10, 20 years to just master one skill. So unless you have like 500 years or like you're secret immortal, you're not gonna master all those skills.
No, you can't. Why can't you? Max it takes is like 1 year, 2 year to master a
Sky
skill.
is the
And
limit.
besides, people take
People
100
spend
or whatever years you mentioned to make it a profession for that skill, not mastering it. Mastering is a different thing, and profession is a different thing.
But you said
All right.
master. What? You said master those
Wait,
skills.
so even if you would want to be able to have a profession, then you need to have some level of proficiency in it, correct? And you simply don't have the time. It's the same problem. It's just a lower degree. It's the same fundamental issue. We don't have the time to do it all.
This is like saying that your learning stops at the age of 50, which is actually untrue because at the age of 56,
Wait,
a
might
guy.
you clarify how this is related to saying learning stops at the age of 50? Just clarify how you made that jump.
Who brought up the topic? It was not our it was clearly not our team.
No, I would like you to clarify the jump because I didn't quite understand how you went from time is a restraining factor in one's professional life to learning stops at the age of 50. This seems completely tangential and unrelated.
It's actually not unrelated because the way you're saying is time is a limiting factor is the way that you're saying is that our brain stops working at a certain age when it does not.
No,
Well,
we're not
working
saying
professionals
not our brain
typically
stops
won't have a
working.
livelihood. Okay, that's it. Yeah, working
Okay,
professionals typically won't have a livelihood by the age of 50. You're not waiting till the age of 50 just so that you can have your first salary, if I'm correct.
and second of all, we did
Sorry,
not
I
say your
can't hear
brain
you.
stops
What?
working. Okay,
I have a
one thing.
question. I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Do
Okay.
you mean by going into a field, we need to be expert in it? Like you said, it takes 10 to 20 years. But we are not saying
Okay.
that you have to become a professional in that field. We are saying you have to broaden your fields. Like you can take up cooking. Cooking doesn't take 10 to 20 years to learn. It barely takes around 3 to 5 years. You can learn that and make a profession out of it. So,
Yeah.
do you mean we need every skill needs 10 to 20 years to learn or something like that?
Well, I mean,
A 20-year-old
Like,
it
can
does
only
take.
become a
3 to 5
a
years.
software
Michelle,
engineer when
relax.
he
I
has
want to
10
talk to
year
Hassad.
experience.
Michelle, please relax. I want to talk to Hassan for a second. Yeah, becoming a professional cook does take a lot of time. It's easy to cook for yourself at home, and that might only take a few weeks to learn. But if you want to make it a profession, it will take time because unless you want to work at some random street food stall,
I have
your
another
food
question.
is going to need to taste good.
Bro, not
Okay. Oh, no,
everyone
no,
is
no,
going to
1 minute, 1
MasterChef.
minute. Please, 1 minute.
But okay, okay.
No, no, you say. What do you say?
Uh, I was saying not everyone is going to MasterChef or become Gordon Ramsay. You can open up a stall. We never said that you have to become successful in that field or become the Elon Musk of that field or anything like that.
Okay.
We said we
No,
need to broaden our skills.
You guys
that
have
is
1 minute
wrong.
left.
That is wrong because Zoya clearly said we can master multiple skills. So no, we're talking about mastering. And second of all,
Yes,
have
we.
you watched MasterChef? People spend like
Um,
4 to 5 years on cooking and they still fail terribly. 3 to 5 years is not enough to make you master chef. And
Also,
yes,
I
we're
would
talking
like
about
to
mastering
preface
skills.
that.
That's what you guys brought up. That's what you guys brought up. So we're talking about mastering different skills.
It was
you
actually
Okay,
can.
I
not
would
brought
like
up
to
by us.
respond to Michelle
Can
one
you tell me?
second. Wait, guys,
Can,
once I would like to say time is a restricting factor because you die, as aptly pointed out by Tata.
um. So. Uh. So you. What you're trying to say is no one can master. Two or more fields.
No, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, okay, first of all, Zoya mentioned I can master in chef, not chef. Okay, I can master in engineering. I can master in product design, social media, blah blah blah. Like she mentioned, like 5 different fields. When usually people, okay, you can master 2 fields, but still that's still specialization. People spend around like 20 to 30 years by mastering a field. Only like the select few would start another topic at like at the age of 60 or something. And by then your brain is probably a lot less working when you're at this age right now.
It actually is not because they're. Go on.
It
Go on.
is actually because there's a higher chance of Alzheimer's and dementia at an old age. This is due to the failure of the brain. And the
Yeah,
cells
old
die.
age meaning 70,
Okay,
70.
so the time is up, guys.
It starts from 50 above, by the way.
Wait, Aman, you
It's
just
not.
said we could have unrestricted time at the start of this. Please
You,
be
you
consistent.
said you wanted 10 minutes. I can't keep this on for like forever.
But it's
Can
funny.
we ask some questions? Because
I
they
know it's
asked us.
funny.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can, Hassan.
Uh, uh, you meant that we can only expertise in one skill. Like, do you not do anything else except
I didn't say
studying
one
or?
skill. I said you can do it for 5 skills. Don't twist my words.
Human said that. I wasn't talking about you.
uh, uh, I said you to be a working professional, you must limit your horizons to some extent because there are restraining factors that prevent you from generalizing your skills and still being proficient in them at the same time.
Uh, I get your point, but can we can we bring Ninja to the argument? He wasn't a professional gamer. He was a 15-year-old. He was studying. He was going to medical. But he became an overnight sensation after going on to Twitch. He wasn't
Okay.
mastering gaming or studying gaming. That wasn't a skill.
Is he specialized in medicine?
He was studying, but
But is
he
he
did not.
specialized in medicine? Okay, that's it. He's specialized in gaming. He's not specialized in medicine. That proves the point that if you don't have enough time to specialize in multiple different topics, you need to dedicate your time to at least maximum 2 fields
You
to
seem
actually
to
do
be
well in those.
twisting his words. Since he
Could you
said
I'm
he's
elaborate on
not
how we're
specializing
twisting
twisting.
in
his
He
medicine
words?
clearly
and
said
in
he's good
gaming.
at gaming and he did not specialize in medicine. I'm not twisting his words.
Wait, Michelle, could you
Uh,
clarify how he's
I'm
twisting his words?
repeating what he said.
no. I think you don't know, but he's also a lawyer.
Poor Aman.
He's
Can I
He's
ask?
also a lawyer.
yeah.
So
You have sources.
you mentioned that
So
you.
he mastered two skills at the same time, like in his life. So can you tell me he can do that and not everyone?
All right,
How?
this ends here. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
What a
Hassan would like
story.
to have a word.
I need to catch my breath before I start speaking because I've been suffering for the past 20 minutes. If you don't
Oh,
know me, I'm the founder of Mojza, and I was not there at the start of the debate, but I joined in the second half. And I hope that the first half was better than the second half. And at least in the Q&A period, I've found a lot of issues that I think that you guys should work on generally. And I'm talking about this as a member of the audience, and I think there's some things that you guys can pick up for making more productive debate in future. In all of the duration I was here, the discussion was completely off topic. The topic was whether you should be a jack of all trades and master of none, or a master of one. Now, in the past, the entire Q&A session, you guys were talking if you can become the master of several trades. Well, that was not the topic. You were guys supposed to discuss about how you can be the jack of all trades, when we mean that you're involved in multiple skills, but not the master of any. That was in the topic. And you guys were arguing whether you can be the master of multiple skills. So that completely off the topic. Although the discussion wasn't completely pointless, but it was not the topic. So when you guys are going into a debate, the first thing you should always do is define the terms in the motion. And you guys should agree on that on both sides. When the first speaker comes up in the first round, that is what you should put down. Okay, this is what we're talking about, and we're not going to go outside of it. When you do that, you have a proper structure for the debate and you can discuss on that specific point. Now, this was completely started, first you guys may have started off on the point, but as the debate went on, you guys completely diverged on the topic and we ended up with something that was not the topic at all. So I think that's how I'm going to say for now, because whenever you're debating, try to stay really on topic. And when also another thing, okay, I noticed that the debates, the speeches seemed pretty pre-written. So it didn't feel like you guys are speaking with a proper belief. You were just speaking for the sake of winning the debate. I noticed that the IGC side was better at this, that they were passionate about defending this argument. But our side, unfortunately, seemed like they had pre-written speeches, pre-research stuff, and they were stuck to that point. So when you're debating, you should completely immerse yourself in the side you're defending. And when you're defending it, you should truly believe that you are at the side. And whatever the other side says, you should be able to come up with a logical argument, not just refer back to what you've already said. Or avoid the question that was mentioned entirely and pick up something else that was in your older argument or a completely off topic thing. So when you're debating, just stay really focused. That is my main advice to you guys.
Anyways, thank you for joining this debate. Now the decisions will come out, so give us a bit